never imagined that one day I'd come home with my 4-year-old son and find all our belongings dumped unceremoniously on the street. But I guess I should have known it all started unraveling the day I walked into that house thinking I had married into love, not servitude. Back then, my life was simple. I was a fitness trainer at a local gym, no drama, no complications. My days were filled with protein shakes, squats, and helping others push past their limits. It was a peaceful kind of busy. Then Jake happened. He walked into my gym like he owned the place, confident. Not cocky. Hey, I'm looking to switch up my routine. Got any killer moves to start with? His tone was light, but his eyes held something more intensity, curiosity, maybe even loneliness. He wasn't some aimless newbie staring blankly at machines. No, Jake moved like he knew what he was doing, like the gym wasn't what he came for at all. Sure, I said, leading him to the weights. Let's see what you've got. That one session turned into a week, then a month. Then casual conversations became lingering glances, and I found myself laughing more than usual. Jake owned a small family restaurant. He talked about it with pride, but it was his mother he kept circling back to. It's all about the sauce, he'd say. Nobody makes it like my mom. His admiration for her was obvious, but so was the undercurrent of frustration. He spoke of her like someone you love but tiptoe around. Then, one afternoon, he caught me off guard. "Emily," he said, slightly out of breath from our last set, "how about dinner at my place, meet my mom? Try that sauce I keep bragging about." I hesitated, not because I didn't want to, but because things felt like they were shifting fast. "Why not?" I said. "I'm curious if it's as good as you claim." Dinner was cozy. The food was incredible, rich and homemade, and his family, well, they were complicated. His mom, Anna, was all charm on the surface, but there was something calculating behind her warm smile, and his younger sister, Sophia Prickly, didn't even begin to cover it. "So, Emily," she'd said, eyeing me like a science experiment, "Jake tells us you're quite the fitness guru. Ever deal with hopeless cases, or do you just make the fit fitter?" I smiled, brushing off the jab. Everyone has potential. It's just about finding the right motivation. Jake, though he was persistent. Always showing up, always hanging back to chat. One night, as we locked up the gym, he leaned against the door. "I never believed in fate," he said, "but meeting you." Maybe I was wrong. Despite the little voice in my head urging caution, I fell hard, fast, like I'd grabbed a barbell too heavy without a spotter. One evening, as we walked to our cars, he stopped. "Emily, I'm not good with fancy words, but I like you. A lot. What do you say we make this official? No games, no pretense?" That was Jake direct, honest, and all in. "I say yes," I whispered, heart pounding. And just like that, I wasn't just a trainer anymore. I was Jake's girlfriend. Then, quickly, his wife, but moving into his mom's house right after the wedding, that wasn't part of the fairy tale I'd envisioned. Jake said it was important. Family's everything. He told me. From day one, it was a cold war. Anna and Sophia made it clear they didn't want me there. The tension, palpable. I'd come home from long gym shifts to a mountain of chores, and nobody offered help. The old washing machine broke constantly, like it had a vendetta against me. One night, as I fumbled with it again, I heard them laughing in the kitchen. "She doesn't even know what she's doing." Sophia sneered. "Watch, she'll flood the basement next." Their laughter echoed through the house. I bit my tongue so hard it hurt. It wasn't just the washing machine. It was cooking, cleaning, everything. I was the entertainment, the outsider fumbling her way through their sacred traditions. Italian food was holy, and I was a heretic. No matter how hard I tried to follow Anna's recipes, I was never good enough. Is that supposed to look like that? Sophia mocked one night. "It's nothing like Mom's." "I'm trying my best," I said through clenched teeth. She shrugged. "Maybe your best isn't good enough. Jake never defended me. Not once. Just leave it, Emily," he'd whisper. "It's not worth the fight." Dinner was torture. They mocked my cooking, my workouts, even my silence. Maybe stick to what you know gym stuff. Sophia snarked once, passing the salt like it was an award I hadn't earned. I smiled. I swallowed. But inside, I was crumbling. As my pregnancy advanced, everything got harder. The chores piled up. My body ached. One day, I was vacuuming, belly heavy, when Anna walked in. "You missed a spot, and look how slow you're moving." "I'm doing the best I can," I said, trying to stay calm. "In my day, pregnancy wasn't an excuse," she scoffed. "You need to toughen up." Sophia wasn't any better. Folding laundry became another battleground. "These aren't folded, right?" she said, tossing my neatly stacked shirts back into chaos. "Want me to show you again?" "I know how to fold clothes," I snapped. "Could have fooled me," she replied, her smile razor sharp. Their attacks were endless. And after I gave birth, my postpartum body became the next punchline. "Are you feeding a child or a small army?" Anna laughed as I tried to nourish myself. Sophia mooed like a cow from the kitchen while I nursed my baby. That was it. That was my breaking point. I needed something, anything that belonged to me. Something to remind me I was more than their verbal punching bag. That's when I dusted off my old camera. While Jake was working and Sophia was out shopping, I set up in our cramped guest room. I turned it into a makeshift gym. This was my space now. "I'm doing this," I whispered, "for me." The first videos were shaky and awkward. "Hey everyone, it's Emily," I said to an invisible audience. "Here's a quick 10-minute workout for busy moms." But it felt good, raw, and real. And then something amazing happened. My follower count started to grow. The moment my channel started to grow, it felt like someone had handed me a lifeline, something I hadn't realized I was gasping for all along. What started as awkward videos in a tiny corner of the house quickly turned into something bigger than I ever dreamed of. My confidence, once chipped away by endless criticisms and cruel whispers, began to rebuild itself one upload at a time. I invested in a better camera, taught myself about lighting and editing through late-night tutorials. My channel was no longer just a form of escape. It was mine. It was me. Until one afternoon, Sophia barged in during a low-impact cardio shoot. "What the hell are you doing?" she spat, her gaze bouncing between me and the camera. "You turning our home into your personal TV show." Now I paused the video, my pulse racing, not from exercise but from the confrontation. Yes, actually, I am. And it's important to me. Sophia scoffed like my words were some sort of joke. "You think you're some kind of star? Get over yourself, Emily." The insult stung, but unlike before, I didn't flinch. It's not like I ever had your approval anyway. I might as well do one thing I enjoy. She rolled her eyes and stormed off, but I didn't let it stop me. I hit record again, my voice stronger, my movements more purposeful. The more she pushed, the deeper I dug in, and then the offers started coming in. Brands wanted to send me gear. Companies were offering me actual money to feature their products. I remember one night at dinner, glowing with pride, I told Jake, "They're paying me for this." "That's great," he mumbled distractedly, "but keep it quiet." "Okay, Mom and Sophia don't need to know." Of course not. Even when I started handing Jake $2 a month my money to cover the house bills, I had to pretend it came from him. But no matter what I contributed, Anna and Sophia kept spreading the same narrative that I was some lazy woman making silly videos. Not a real provider like they were. She does nothing. Anna would hiss when she thought I was out of earshot. Sophia chimed in with her usual poison. She should try being a real woman and pick up a broom for once. I bit my tongue until it bled. Then came the day Jake stood in front of me, more exhausted than I'd ever seen him. "Emily, the restaurant needs help. Badly." I didn't hesitate. I transferred $10,000 to help him out. It wasn't long before he needed another $5,000. He asked with downcast eyes, and I said yes, not because I didn't see the imbalance growing between us, but because he was the father of my child, because I was still holding on to the dream of stability. But it all shattered the moment Sophia moved her new husband. Mark, into the house, overnight. Our space disappeared. My peace was gone. Privacy, a fantasy. Anna started saying it out loud, now calling me lazy and a parasite to my face. Soon, there'll be another baby, she said coldly, and we can't have freeloaders taking up space. I was ready to scream, but I held it together. Barely. And then, Jake left town, said he had urgent restaurant business in another city, kissed me goodbye like it was nothing, and vanished. I kept things normal for our son, shot my videos in the park, tucked him in at night. Until one day, everything broke. We came home from school and there it was our life, dumped like garbage on the front porch. Suitcases, clothes, toys, all of it, piled outside like we were strangers. I rang the doorbell, heart racing. Anna and Sophia peeked through the window and cracked open the door just enough to speak. "You need to find somewhere else to stay," Anna said. No apology, no shame. What about Jake? What do I tell him? Sophia's laugh was like nails on glass. Tell him whatever. He clearly doesn't care. I called Jake, again and again. No answer. I gathered our things and booked a cheap hotel room. My son looked around the unfamiliar space, confused and scared. I felt something shift inside me, not sadness, not panic, resolve. Then, Sophia texted me. "Thought you might want to see what your beloved husband has been up to," she wrote, with a link attached. Curiosity, dread, and nausea tangled in my stomach. I clicked. Photos. Jake, laughing. Holding hands with another woman. Beach walks. Romantic dinners. Yesterday's timestamp. So this wasn't a business trip. It was an escape from me. From us. I sat there in shock, phone dangling from my hand. Then my son looked up at me, his voice soft. "Mommy, are you okay?" I smiled through the ache. "Yeah, buddy, I'm okay, just tired." But I wasn't tired. I was done. Done being used. Done being silenced. Done being invisible. Over the next few days, Jake's calls lit up my phone. I ignored them. Until finally, I picked up Emily. "Where are you guys? I heard what happened. You should come back. We have the bills to sort out and the restaurant needs more funding." That was all he cared about. Money. I kept my voice calm. "Sure, Jake. Let's talk tomorrow. I'll come by." He sounded relieved. "Great. It's better to handle these things in person." Perfect. The next morning, I dropped off my son at school with a kiss and a promise. Then I drove straight to Anna's house, the Lion's Den. Jake was there. Anna and Sophia, too. All smug. All certain I'd come crawling back. But they didn't know I was there to burn the bridge. I pulled divorce papers from my bag and handed them to Jake. He paled, reading them, lips trembling. Anna and Sophia smirked, thinking I was leaving in defeat. "Not quite. Don't celebrate just yet," I said coldly. "You've been living off me this whole time," Jake stammered, trying to salvage face. "The restaurant isn't doing well. It hasn't been for a long time." The mood turned instantly. Anna and Sophia flipped on him like snakes, their fury turning into panic. Then Sophia, always ready with venom, sneered. "Well, since Jake makes less than you, guess he'll file for alimony." Jake nodded. Pathetic. I almost laughed. That's not how this ends. I turned to Jake, my eyes locked on his. "I know about the affair. He went ghost white. How did you?" I pointed at Sophia. "Your sister sent me everything. Pictures, dates, hotel names." Her face crumbled. "I have all the evidence I need." Their house descended into chaos, screams, denials, accusations flying in every direction. I let them tear each other apart, then dropped the final bomb. "I'm also taking everything I bought, appliances, furniture, electronics." They froze. I'd already hired movers. And they walked in right then, hauling out the fridge, the washer, the flat screen, even the fancy blender Anna loved. Anna cried, "You can't do this. We need those things." I looked her in the eye. So did I. And so did my son. They begged. They cursed. I turned to Jake now, small, ashamed, defeated. take care of your mother and sister. That's your job now. And then I walked out lighter, stronger, free. I wasn't just leaving their house, I was leaving the cage they'd built for me. And I wasn't ever going back. After everything Jake had done, his betrayal, his silence, his dependence, I wasn't just going to walk away quietly. I fought back, not for revenge, but for justice, for my son. With the help of a sharp and compassionate lawyer, I filed for compensation due to Jake's infidelity and secured alimony not for Jake, but for our son, Alex. The process wasn't easy, but it was clean, efficient. Every document, every court appearance, every legal clause was a step toward reclaiming my voice. And this time, I wasn't backing down. As for Jake's family, well, karma finally showed up. With my financial support cut off, Jake's restaurant collapsed within months. The business he'd poured his life into while lying and cheating behind my back couldn't survive on his own. No more lifeline, no more free bailouts, and their precious family home gone. Sold to pay off the mountain of debts they'd pretended didn't exist while I was footing the bills. It was poetic. Really, the same house where I was ridiculed, belittled, and tossed out like trash. Now emptied and lost. Anna and Sophia, once so high and mighty, came crawling back or tried to. Their messages flooded in apologies, excuses, desperate requests for help. Suddenly, I was no longer the lazy freeloader they now saw me as their last hope, but I wasn't the same Emily anymore. I blocked their numbers without hesitation. No goodbyes, no second chances. Sophia's picture-perfect marriage shattered. Her husband left. And now, the entire family, Jake, Anna, Sophia, her baby live crammed into a small, stuffy rental. No space, no luxury, no buffer from the real world. They built their house of cards on my labor and my silence. And when I stepped away, it collapsed. Meanwhile, my son and I, we were thriving. Alex and I settled into a small but charming apartment. Nothing fancy, but it was ours. For the first time in years, I could decorate how I wanted, cook what I liked, and walk from room to room without being judged. Alex's laughter filled the space, and every corner echoed with something precious peace. My YouTube channel and Instagram exploded with love and support. Women from all walks of life messaged me, mothers, daughters, women who had felt small, broken, forgotten. They found strength in my story and hope in my workouts. I wasn't just recording fitness videos anymore. I was building a community, a sisterhood. That success sparked something even greater, a dream. I started sketching out plans for online fitness courses, custom programs for postpartum moms who were struggling to find their strength again, just like I once was. Not just physical strength, but emotional, mental, and spiritual strength too. It wasn't just about losing weight or fitting into old jeans. It was about reclaiming yourself, your power, your joy. There were long nights, challenges, tech headaches, and self-doubt. But for the first time in forever, I felt alive, building something that was completely mine. I'd traded judgment for joy, fear for freedom, and dependency for determination. And now, in this little sanctuary Alex and I call home, with sunlight pouring through the windows and my son giggling as he builds pillow forts in the living room, I feel something I thought I'd lost forever: hope. We walked through the fire, and we came out stronger. This is our time now, our fresh start, our future, and no one's ever taking that away from us again. This story serves as a powerful reminder that self-worth should never be determined by how others perceive you, especially when those people fail to respect your efforts, your sacrifices, and your dreams. Emily's journey teaches us the importance of resilience in the face of emotional abuse, manipulation, and betrayal. She was belittled, underestimated, and treated as a burden. Yet she found the strength to reclaim her identity and rise above the toxic environment she was trapped in. Through quiet determination and inner courage, she turned personal pain into purpose, transforming her passion into a thriving business and creating a better life for herself and her son. One of the most important lessons here is that boundaries are not selfish. They are necessary. You do not owe loyalty to people who continuously disrespect or use you. Love should not come at the cost of your dignity. At some point, choosing peace over chaos, even if it means walking away from those closest to you, is the bravest decision you can make. Emily's story also highlights the value of financial independence and emotional self-reliance, especially for women who are often expected to sacrifice their own ambitions for the sake of others. Her success wasn't about revenge, it was about survival, empowerment, and self-respect. When life falls apart, we always have the power to rebuild, but this time on our own terms. No matter how dark things get, there is always a way forward, and sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come after the deepest betrayals. If you made it to the end of this story, thank you for being here. Emily's journey is a powerful example of what it means to rise from the ashes, to find your strength when everyone else doubts you, and to choose peace over toxic loyalty. If you got any value from this video, whether it inspired you, moved you, or simply reminded you of your own worth, please comment 1 down below. It helps us know that these stories are making a difference. And while you're here, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this story with someone who might need to hear it. You never know who could find comfort or courage in a story like this. We'd also love to hear your thoughts. What part of the video hit you the hardest? What would you have done in Emily's shoes? Drop your feelings in the comments. We read every single one. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.